The 49ers didn't exactly play great during their 26-23 overtime win over the Cincinnati Bengals. They got lucky thanks to 2 muffed kicks and a taunting penalty. But they were better than Cincinnati, and that's all that matters. And with the game on the line, the 49ers offense marched down the field and delivered a clutch win. And now they're 7-6 with the inside track to a playoff berth. Huge victory, no matter how it happened. Here are the 49ers grades for this win. Jimmy Garoppolo, B. His numbers were great. 27 of 41, 296 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Plus, he was perfect on the final drive of the game, which ended with him throwing a touchdown pass. So he was clutch. Plus, he managed the game, made big throws, and didn't turn the ball over. What more could you ask, right? Well, he also got sacked 5 times, partially because he's a statue with lead feet. The 49ers might have lost had the Bengals' top edge rusher, Trey Hendrickson, not left early with a back injury. Garoppolo also fumbled once when he simply dropped the ball in the pocket, but fortunately for him, the ball didn't bounce away and he recovered it. And on the final drive of the fourth quarter, he threw what should have been a game-losing pick 6, but Bengals safety Jesse Bates simply dropped the ball. So Garoppolo got lucky, but he also created his own good fortune on the final drive, and that's all people will remember. Running backs. B. Jeff Wilson Jr. averaged a solid 4.3 yards per carry and didn't turn the ball over, but the 49ers gave him only 13 carries despite leading most of the game. Kind of strange. This was Wilson Jr.'s best performance of the season. He ran extremely hard and made some excellent cuts. Wide receivers. B. Brandon Ayuk had a respectable 6 catches for 62 yards and scored the game-winning touchdown when he jumped and extended the ball across the goal line. Who knows if the 49ers would have won without his heroic effort? Jawan Jennings also made a heroic 25-yard catch on the final drive, which the 49ers needed to win. And Deebo Samuel didn't seem to re-injure his groin, which is great news. He played well too, but mostly as a running back. He had 8 carries and a 27-yard touchdown run. But Garoppolo threw him just 1 pass, and he caught it for a 22-yard gain. The 49ers can't throw Samuel only 1 pass in a game. This can't happen again. He's too good to be just a running back. Tight ends. A+. George Kittle was the offense for the second game in a row. In this one, he caught 13 passes, gained 151 yards, and scored a touchdown. This is the player the 49ers thought they were getting when they gave Kittle his huge contract extension. He's as good as any player in the NFL right now. Offensive lineman. D. Trent Williams struggled against Trey Hendrickson. Fortunately for Williams, Hendrickson left the game early. Daniel Brunskill and Tom Compton struggled against everyone, both in the run and pass game. Defensive lineman. A-. Nick Bosa recorded 2 sacks, and the second one came on the Bengals' final offensive play when they were in the red zone threatening to win the game with a touchdown in overtime. Bosa forced the field goal, which gave the offense a chance to win the game. Bosa is having the best season a 49ers edge rusher has had since Aldon Smith. Bosa could finish the season with 20 sacks. Linebackers. B+. Azeez Al-Shaair recorded a whopping 11 tackles in the first half, but left the game in the second half with a serious elbow injury that could cost him multiple games, if not the rest of the season. Fred Warner returned from a hamstring injury and left the game briefly with a twisted ankle, but returned and played well. Safeties. B. Jaquiski Tart and Talanoa Hufanga split time at strong safety, and each played well. But it's clear, though, that the 49ers will give the starting role to Hufanga next year, and he'll play alongside Jimmy Ward, who recorded 5 tackles in this game and should have recorded an interception too, but it didn't count because Ambry Thomas committed a penalty. More on Thomas in a minute. Cornerbacks. D-. K'Wan Williams had a crucial sack late in the fourth quarter. He was the 49ers' best cornerback by far. Josh Norman was not good, but at least he didn't commit any penalties. Ambry Thomas committed 2. One negated Ward's interception, and the other negated a sack by Bosa, which would have been his 3rd of the game. Thomas also was responsible for most of the Bengals' big plays. He gave up 1 long touchdown catch and nearly gave up a second, but the receiver dropped the ball. Then Thomas left the game with a head injury. I hope he's okay, and I hope the 49ers don't have to play him again this season because he's not ready. Dante Johnson and Diamondor Lenore both are better than him. Johnson missed this game because his mom died of a heart attack. I'm so sorry for him and his family. Please keep them in your thoughts. Special teams. C. They recovered 2 muff kicks, and that was the difference in the game. That's the reason the 49ers won. Special teams. Of course, special teams also were the reason the game went to overtime. Robbie Gould missed a 47-yard field goal attempt as time expired. He looked shaky in warmups too. He's an important player who's declining. Coaches. B. Unlike last week, Kyle Shanahan had his team physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared to play a football game, and so they didn't beat themselves. They let the Bengals dig a hole in the first half, but then let the Bengals climb out of that hole after halftime because the 49ers scored just 3 points in the second half, and Ambry Thomas gave up huge plays. But the 49ers pulled out the win because they're still better than the young Bengals. And Shanahan's play calls on the final series were perfect. But the game went to overtime partially because Shanahan called an unnecessary pass on 2nd and 8 while leading by 7 points with 3:04 left in the fourth quarter, and Garoppolo got sacked, which led to the Bengals' game-tying drive. That call was a mistake. So Shanahan was good, but he'll have to be better in the playoffs if the 49ers make it, as they should. Quality control. F-. I told John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan to draft Jaguars defensive end Josh Allen instead of Nick Bosa. What an embarrassing thing to live with. I'll do better in the future.